Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso here with another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. I'm rubbing my hands today because we're talking about data recovery myths for both computers and smartphones. Fun, right? Not really, because no one wants to deal with the situation where they're having to deal with trying to recover data from a down device. Doesn't matter if you have a computer that's bad or a smartphone, data recovery is not fun, especially when you haven't backed up your stuff, which I will say, and I'm going to repeat this multiple times through this video, is that backup is the best data recovery. So make sure that all of your devices, meaning computers, smartphones, tablets, are being backed up constantly, like 24/7. So if you take anything away from this video, always back up your stuff because you never know when things are going to fail. So let's talk about desktop computers first because people still use them. So most desktop computers have one of the variations of hard drives installed in them. You've got, and use my mouse, your standard hard drive here, which most computers don't even use anymore. Got a 2.5 laptop hard drive, which is also the same size as a solid state hard drive. And here's your current fast M2 solid state hard drive. Now, some people think that solid state hard drives are a little bit more reliable than your standard mechanical hard drive. Well, it's true mechanical hard drives have moving parts and those moving parts fail after a period of time, but they're a little bit more reliable than a solid state hard drive. Solid state hard drives are fast, but they have a limited read write life, which makes it sometimes prone for solid state hard drives to fail, sometimes quicker than your standard computer hard drive. So just because you have a solid state drive, don't think that it's going to last longer than your mechanical hard drive. Now, the other myth that you have to worry about is with smartphones. Everyone thinks that if you've got a smartphone, you can just plug it in and retrieve all the data, but that's not always the case with your smartphone. So we're going to go through some of the more popular myths as far as recovering data from your devices. But let's step back a minute and talk about the whole solid state hard drive versus regular hard drive deal and what happens. Because sometimes you have to do data recovery because you drop your device. And this kind of explains why on some devices, like smartphones, which have solid state technology built into them, that you're able to just keep walking on and using your device, especially if you have an OtterBox like I do or other case on your device, as opposed to an older computer, which if you drop it, the computer's done for. So looking at the difference between a solid state hard drive and your standard hard drive, understand that most of your, that doesn't even really look like a solid state hard drive on the right there, but let's just pretend it is. So anyway, uh, your older computers like desktops and laptops traditionally had your 3.5-inch hard drive, which has a lot of moving parts, like I said before. And sometimes what will happen is this little arm here where I've got the mouse will fail and it's not able to read. And this goes on multiple platters, and the platters aren't able to read if you drop it. And as you can see, these hard drives are not very shock resistant as far as a standard hard drive. Now, solid state, there's not much to it. You got a bunch of chips, cache, no moving parts, connectors to connect it, and as you can see, it's a little bit more shock resistant. So your smartphone, your computer, your laptop, did I say that already? Well, anyway, it's going to last through a drop with a solid state device as opposed to your standard hard drive. So what are those myths that I've been talking about? Let's get to it. So number one is take a hammer to it. You may think it's hammer time for that old hard drive that you have in that old computer, but oh my gosh, that just doesn't work. I don't know where that idea came from that taking a hammer to your computer is the best thing to do to try to recover data from it. But that's furthest from the truth, because with all those moving parts, slapping your hard drive with a hammer is the last thing that you want to do. It's ridiculous. Why would you think that? Now, myth number two, I've actually tried and it worked, but it was a fluke on my part. So the trick, remember, is to stick the hard drive in the freezer and it will allow you to recover the data. Well, I got lucky one time, but that is a myth. You'd never want to stick your hard drive in the freezer. Not that the platters will freeze like it will in this instance, but it can definitely cause more damage to the hard drive with it thawing out and getting condensation inside the drive as opposed to freezing it and hoping that you can retrieve data from that hard drive. Now let's talk about some smartphone. Let's talk about smartphones for a minute because there's some more hard drive myths, but let's just talk about all the variations of smartphones out there. People, you are not going to like what I have to say. So, realistically, if your smartphone is ruined, that data is gone. There's two exceptions that may occur on a smartphone. So, number one is Android users. And let's switch so that you can see what I'm talking about. So, SIM cards for Android phones, you can retrieve data from a SIM card if from an Android phone if you went through the process of trying to save all of your information to your Android SIM card. And for most of you, that ain't going to happen because you're storing that information internally inside your Android, not into the external SIM card. So maybe it's not a bad idea if you've got documents and stuff that you don't have stored internally, store them to, or backed up, is what I was trying to say. Save them to a SIM card. Because if you're going to be risky and not back up your stuff, at least save it to the SIM card. Because if it's saved internally on an Android, you ain't getting it back. I hate to tell you that. I know there's people who are going to be arguing in the comment section saying, well, your device wasn't in dire straits like you thought it was, and you weren't able to do it. Now, one of the tips that you can do for Apple devices, let me just state this before we go any further. You got an Apple device, there ain't no, I'm like how I'm saying that. There's no way to recover information from a dead iPhone. There's a ton of software out there that says that you can, but you can't. You can't do it. You just can't. I mean, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Now, on both of these devices, let's say that you get power to the device, but you aren't able to see anything on the screen. Now, for an Android, you can, what's the word that I'm looking for? Is it SIM card? It is. You can take the SIM card out and you can hook it up to a computer and retrieve your SIM card data from the SIM card. But internally, if that thing ain't getting power, you're not getting it. Now, and on an iPhone or an Android device, you can definitely hook your powered up device, especially if it doesn't have a screen, from your iPhone. And iCloud will allow you to see the information that is on your iPhone. And then you can back it up and restore it to another iPhone. And that's one of the good things about iPhone recovery. Now, Android doesn't have this feature because, by default, with Android, you're supposed to be able to hook it up to a computer and then just automatically see the file system on your Android device. But that doesn't always work. So, other myths, other than smartphone myths, are the fact that you should replace the logic board on your old school hard drive with the same make and model, and then you'd be able to retrieve the information off of that. Well, that's not true either. And it would be virtually impossible, especially if you've got an older computer or an older hard drive where you've got parts for it. Parts are slim right now because there's a still going through a semiconductor shortage, but the fact that you're going to try to find the same logic board for a hard drive that was manufactured probably anywhere from 2 to 10 years ago, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Even if someone put the needle in the haystack, it's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. So get that out of your mind. Also, let's say that you want to. I guess I need to show a picture of the logic board. So there's your logic board. So these, as you can see, model number, make, you can even use a torque screwdriver to get some of those screws off and then replace it. But you can't do it. You could take it off, but finding the exact model logic board for a hard drive is virtually impossible. Now, another thing that people have suggested is that you go to DIY alternative and you take apart your hard drive like in a clean bathroom and try to recover the data off of the drive by replacing parts or acting like you have your own clean room. Now, data recovery centers exist for a reason because they have all of the expensive equipment to retrieve the data off of your hard drive. And I will say this with data recovery centers and hard drives. Now, if you have an older hard drive like the one pictured here before, chances are if you spend the money, and it will cost you a lot of money to send that hard drive in to get the data recovered, probably anywhere from $600 on up to a couple of thousand. They usually have a good recovery rate when recovering information from older hard drives. Now, if it were a solid state hard drive, you can forget it because there is a low recovery rate on a solid state hard drive. It just can't be done, and I know the comments are going to go in the comment section about, oh, well, I did this. Well, it's not feasible for the average person to get that information off. And even if you were to risk it and have someone else try to retrieve that, it's not worth it. It's just better to, I'm going to say it again, back up your data so you don't have to worry about this. That even includes some of those software programs that you see listed on the internet that promise to recover the information from both your smartphone and your computer. Don't work. I've tried most of them, and the only one that kind of worked wasn't File History. It was a program called File Scavenger, and it was even hit or miss with that program. It just rarely worked, and what you got off of File Scavenger looked like photos and documents, but it was just a bunch of gibberish. So it was kind of a waste of $75 to use that program in order to retrieve data. So any of the ads that you see listed on a web search, don't fall for it. Same thing with companies that want you to pay immediately to recover your data. If you do have to send your device off to a data recovery center, you want to choose one that is going to look at your phone or your hard drive at no charge to kind of give you an idea if they can even recover it. Especially you want to use this practice because most data recovery centers aren't going to exist near you. You're going to have to ship off your device, trust someone to look at it, and with the promise that they'll return it if they're able to retrieve it. But there's data recovery centers that will look at it at no charge. They will contact you to let you know what they were able to recover, and then you have the option of trying to recover that or having them recover that information rather than you risking it. But again, you know my mentality when it comes to your stuff, and that's to just back up your information. And it's easy. Every device out there has some sort of backup option that will work automatically forever. But there's different things or different ways to back up your information because you've got cloud storage, online backup, and local storage. So let's talk about local storage for starters. Local storage is basically an external hard drive that you would hook up to your desktop or laptop computer. It means it's locally in your hand. You have to plug it in, install backup software, which both Windows and Macintosh has available, and then you just make sure that it backs up on a regular basis. The challenge with that is that if you've got local backup storage, then if your computer or laptop gets zapped while it's plugged in, it's going to take that hard drive out too. So external hard drives are good if you rotate them and that you make sure that it's making a backup, because the other thing you have to realize about external hard drives is they fail a lot. So make sure it's backing up before you rely on it. Next is cloud storage. Now, cloud storage is the option of storing your stuff to OneDrive, iCloud Drive, Dropbox, Box. I know I'm forgetting something. But anyway, Dropbox. So anyway, cloud storage is just that, cloud storage, meaning that the whole intention of cloud storage is that your files are stored in the cloud so that you can access them anywhere. And in no way is this supposed to be an option where your information is backed up. It sort of is because you've got them in two locations. That's two. But if ransomware were to hit your computer or even your smart devices, it'll encrypt or ruin the files that are stored in the cloud too, because on most services there isn't redundancy. But there is the option of cloud backup, which is or online backup, or cloud backup, which is the option that you get redundancy in the cloud. So cloud backup could be considered Google Drive from your smartphone, Apple or iCloud Drive from your smartphone or other devices, or Carbonite, which is a service that will allow you to have multiple copies of your files stored in the cloud. And they keep those multiple copies for up to 30 days at a time. So it's a continuous 30-day period where your files are being stored. Now, if you delete something, then the online backup is going to remove it too. The good thing with cloud storage is that if you delete it, it normally sits up in the cloud. So that's one of the pluses. But redundancy is important when it comes to backing up your stuff. So if you've got a computer, sign up for one of those cloud backup services, and at the very least, I have to always stress this when it comes to backing up your information. Make sure that you're using it 24/7, that your backup is backing up all the time to ensure that if anytime something major happens like theft or damage, your files are going to be safe and secure. You just got to get another device, which most people don't want to do. But it's better than the alternative of, oh my gosh, I lost all my data. What am I going to do? So keep that in mind. So if you have comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and comments about backing up and data recovery for all of your devices and some of the myths that I talked about. I don't know how that slipped. Also, too, be sure to comment, like, and share this video if you enjoyed it, or if it sucked that bad, you can share it too. So with that said, I love technology. I've read all the manuals, and I'm serious about making technology fun, safe, and easy to use for everyone. So take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile, and thanks for watching.